What is up, guys? So Sports back in with another video, and at the time that I'm recording this, about 2 hours ago, Alan Crabbe was just traded to the Atlanta Hawks. And man, wow, let me go over the trade really quickly for you guys. It was Alan Crabbe, the 17th pick, and next year's pick protected for, who did they get back? For Taurean Prince, I believe. Yes, Taurean Prince, and a second round pick. Now, initial thoughts on this trade, I feel like this is a win-win for both sides, for both parties. For one, for the Hawks, you're getting another top 20 pick, which is great. And essentially, you're getting another pick next year, depending on where it's protected. But I mean, hey, you know, taking on a contract, getting another first-round pick is always a great thing for a team rebuilding, as the Hawks are doing. And for the Nets, this is amazing for you guys because you're relieving $18 million in cap. You're getting back Taurean Prince, who in my breakout video, I said that I thought he would break out on a new team. I think he can be very solid for you. And then back to the cap situation, relieving 18 mil creates 2 max slots for them. I mean, you never know. Kyrie Irving, could he come? Kyrie Irving, there's some serious reports coming out that Kyrie Irving is seriously considering the Nets. So I mean, hey, what a time to be a Nets fan right now. Let me just say that 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if you told me that the Nets would be in this situation, I would call you stupid, considering trading those 4 first-round picks and how Danny Ainge completely fleeced them, to now how it looks like the Nets are about to fleece the Celtics and taking Kyrie away from them. It's hilarious to see. It's hilarious to see. But I do want to dive deeper into this trade, what it means basically. So more on the Hawks side. I talked about it a little bit, but I want to talk about it more. On the Hawks side, let's look at it like this. The Hawks now have 3 picks in the top 20. They have the 8th pick, the 10th pick, and now the 17th pick. Now, there are so many things you can do with those picks. Concerning, first off, you can combine those picks and trade up. Maybe trade with my Cleveland Cavaliers. If I was the Cavs, I wouldn't do it though, because you need a top player. Jarrett Culver. I like Jarrett Culver a lot. I really hope the Cavs draft him. I think he's going to be a great NBA player. He reminds me of Jimmy Butler to an extent. You know, the length, the scoring ability, the slight playmaking. He just does. And I mean, yeah, but do they trade? I don't know. Do they trade with the Lakers? Now, hear me out here. This may be stupid for the Lakers considering they want to trade for AD, but just think about it. That's just more draft capital for the Lakers. I mean, it does make sense, though. It does make sense. The 4th pick for the 8th, 10th, and 17th pick? Could be interesting. But then again, what would the Suns do? Would they take DeAndre Hunter? I mean, DeAndre Hunter could potentially fall to them. Would they take Cam Reddish? I think Cam Reddish is going to fall to them. I mean, who else? Besides the first 3, you don't need a point guard. You don't need Darius Garland. He wouldn't fit next to Trae Young, so I wouldn't take him. So maybe that doesn't make sense. But the one thing that I do think it makes sense, the New York Knicks. Do the New York Knicks trade down from 3 to 8, 10, and 17? Do they do that? I don't know. Again, same thing I said with the Lakers. More ammunition. It's more ammunition. And just think about it. If a trade were to happen, let's say the 8th pick, the 10th pick, the 17th pick, and probably a future protected pick for the Hawks for the 3rd pick, do you do that if you're at Atlanta, or is that too much? Me personally, though, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's too much. I mean, it's RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is going to be a great player. He's going to be a great talent, but I don't know. I don't know if you do that if you're the Hawks. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit too much to give up. But I mean, yeah, it's a great win for them. I mean, anytime you can get a top 20 pick, it's great for you. I just want to include my Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm kind of upset that the Cavs didn't try to make this trade. I mean, if you think about it, they could have made the same trade with the Brooklyn Nets with J.R. Smith, Alan Crabbe for J.R. Smith straight up. J.R. Smith's contract is only, I believe, $3 million guaranteed. So if they were to do that and then release him, that's $15 million in the bag right there. So maybe the Cavs didn't want to do that. I don't know. But now I want to move on to the Nets side, and wow, man, the Nets are looking good. Just thinking about it, you relieve $18 million in cap. You now have enough to sign 2 max slots, and the possibilities are endless. Okay, I want to go over the first possibility. Say you re-sign D'Angelo Russell, correct? And now you can go out, sign a Jimmy Butler, who will be a great fit to this team. He can be their leader. You know, he won't get in the way potentially of D'Angelo Russell because they kind of have their own type of game styles. Play styles, excuse me. I think he'd be a great fit. I think that's priority number one. I'm sorry, maybe you're thinking different. Maybe Kyrie's priority. I think Jimmy Butler's priority number one. Jimmy Butler would be great for that team. Priority number two, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris would be another guy who would fit that team well. If you think about the starting lineup of D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince at the 3, then you have Tobias at the 4, and then Jared Allen at the 5. It'd be great. And then you can take Rondé Hollis-Jefferson out of that mix now, and it just opened up your offense more. I don't know if they played this lineup last year. I think they did have a spacer at the 4, but thinking about it, the lineups that they had out there with Jared Allen and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, those are such bad lineups because neither of those guys can shoot. Now, if you add in a guy like Tobias Harris, he just opens the floor up so much. I mean, talk about a 20-point-per-game scorer who can stretch the floor, who can defend, kind of good rebounder for his size. That's exactly what this team needs, somebody like that, and he'd fit the bill well. And then going on to the Kyrie Irving thing. Now, for me, I don't think Kyrie Irving fits this team particularly well. I think he would just take away from D'Angelo Russell. And if you're the Nets, do you want to do that? Maybe D'Angelo Russell will feel some type of way about that. Excuse me. Trying to get somebody at his position. And then, I mean, moving him back to the 2. He's played the shooting guard before, so maybe that wouldn't be a big problem. But if you think about it, that team defensively, probably that defensive backcourt, I don't know if I like that. I mean, D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie Irving, they aren't bad defenders. They just aren't good defenders. So I don't know if that would work out. And I think they just get in each other's way on the offensive end. I mean, you're talking about 2 ball-dominant players who are capable of leading a team. I don't know if that will really work out. So I think they should go to the first route, if not the second route, okay? But I want to talk about one player who I don't see happening at all, but it could. Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant has said he wants to go to New York, but he never stated which team. He could maybe look at Brooklyn. I mean, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm looking at Brooklyn more than I'm looking at the Knicks. I mean, if you think about the Knicks, what do they have to offer? They have a lot of ifs. You know, there's a lot of ifs with the Brook. Maybe, you know, it's a lot of maybes. It's a lot of ifs with the Knicks. Maybe they can trade for Anthony Davis. Maybe they can sign another big name star like Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving to pair with the Knicks. There's so many maybes. But if you look at it with the Nets, there aren't. They have great talent in Karis LeVert and Jared Allen and Spencer Dinwiddie. With D'Angelo Russell, he's restricted, so any contract you give him, you can just match it. So at least if you're KD, if you're going to the Nets, you know for a fact that you're going to have a second all-star on your team. And D'Angelo Russell being a second player is great. I mean, talk about a guy who averaged 21, 7, and 5 last year. Those are great numbers. He'd be a great number 2 guy. And then KD, you won't be in the spotlight in New York in the Knicks. You'd be in the secondary of Brooklyn, and then this will just elevate you above the Knicks. You'd have a great team, a great coach, great foundation. That'd be great. I don't know why that isn't talked about as much. I mean, if you think about it, just think about it. I just want to name the lineup real quickly: D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Kevin Durant, and then if you can excuse me. Well, I didn't even know what I said. Excuse me. If you can find a spacing 4, maybe someone like I don't know. Maybe if you can find a spacing 4 to help you with that, and then Jared Allen at the 5, off the bench, Taurean Prince, Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't even know how to say his name. Rodneyons. You guys know who I'm talking about. The 2 European guys that they drafted, I believe, 2 years ago. It's a great foundation, you know. But I'm just gonna end it off with this. I think I don't want to say it's a win-win for both teams because I mean, okay, I'm gonna say it. I think it's a win-win for both teams because even if the Nets do strike out and don't sign a free agent, that's money for next year. And guess who's a free agent next year? Potentially Anthony Davis. So, I mean, hey, maybe you go after Anthony Davis. I don't know how much that works. But I do believe they'll sign at least one of the 4 of Kyrie, Tobias, Jimmy, and KD. I do believe they'll sign one of those 4. I don't know which one. If I had to place bets, I think the most likely one is probably Jimmy Butler. That's just my opinion. Actually, I think Jimmy Butler and Kyrie are tied. I don't like the fit of Kyrie, but I know they're high on him. So, I mean, hey, it's enough. They can do what they want to do. I mean, they have the luxury of doing that now. And I say it's a win-win for both teams because if you think about the 17th pick, trading that off for Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince is a great NBA player. Like I said earlier, and in my last video, or 2 videos ago, I said I thought he was going to break out this year. And I think he'll have a great year this year if it's off the bench or if it's starting. And, I mean, yeah, the future is definitely bright in Brooklyn. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.